attempt number 3, we need to be we need to be strategizing way more. Now that I know how to play, like, I know what the game has. Because, like, attempt 1 and 2, I had basically no idea about what the game had. Like, what the gyms were, anything, basically. But now that I've played through most of the game, I think we strategize a bunch. It's always the random trainers, exactly. It's just I continually fucked up all throughout the whole Nuzlocke, and it finally caught up to me at the end. If we just continuously play better, then we'll get through this easy. But it was just a combination of, like, not really knowing what the game had, not knowing what any of the trainers had, any of the gyms, and also me just kind of being stupid. But now that we know what to watch out for, and we know what our available resources are, I think attempt 3, we smashed this easy. What are the things we need to look out for before the first gym? We need to make sure we get a Geodude. If we don't get a Geodude naturally, we need to go to the Ruins of Alph and get one. But we need to remember that it's like gonna be like level 10 or like 13 or so. It's some like really high level in the Ruins of Alph. So we need to be careful about that. Other than that, I think the first gym is fine. Second gym is fine because we will have Cyndaquil. So that completely nullifies Bugsy. Try to get a Bellsprout, that way you can get an Onix in the first gym city. Okay, bet. Yeah, we just need to get a Rock type. But we'll just see how we go. Let's give Cyndaquil a really epic name this time. To show how locked in we are for attempt number 3. Because this will be the attempt that we win. I'm guaranteeing it. I'm gonna call you Inferno. This is our serious run. The first 2 runs were just kind of fuck around and find out and, like, experience the game. This is for real time. We're gonna do the fucking package delivery again. I'm so glad they got rid of that in Gen 3. Instead of like making you do some shit before you get Pokeballs, it's just like, alright, get this, like, start the game, get the starter, get the balls, you're off, you know? They cut the package bullshit in Gen 3. I wish every game had like a hey, this is my second playthrough button, so that you could just skip all of the tutorial stuff. Like, I think they should have that. Alright, we have our balls. Nuzlocke time, boys. Alright, what's our encounter? Route 1 encounter, Hoothoot. That's fine. That doesn't help us for the gym, but it's fine. It's an okay encounter. I'm fine with this. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not even gonna hit you just in case there's a crit. Pokeball. Boom. What are we naming Hoothoot? TBH, you did really well, to be clear. That was always going to be rough with your current monster. Yeah. I tried my best, but I just, like... It mainly just not knowing the game was what killed me. Because it's like, there were so many times where I would just be walking, and then a random trainer would have, like, some insane thing that would fuck up my whole team. And then I would, like, lose a Pokemon to it. And that happened, like, so many times. But if I'd known, I would have been fine. But it's fine. It's okay. We did our best. We beat 90% of the game on our second try. So that's pretty good. I don't think we can do worse. I think we'll guaranteed do better. I'm actually okay with Hoothoot. I was actually quite liking Hoothoot in the last couple of attempts. I think it was actually decent. Alright. Route 46 encounter. Rattata. Okay, I'm actually happy about this. I'm happy about this. This will help with Morty. This is our Morty counter. Dude. Dude. Get in the ball. Okay. Alright. Cherry Grove. There's nothing else we're gonna do in Cherry Grove. Let's get our Route 30 encounter. Actually, we need balls. We need balls. We need balls. Give us something good. Okay, that's a dupes. That's a dupes. That's a dupes. Is there only Rattatas on this route? What is happening? Isn't there like PGs on this route? Bro, what the- is it because it's nighttime? Like, what is happening? We should be able to get a spinner rack, because it is nighttime, so we're getting 40%. If it was daytime, we could get a Caterpie or a Metapod, but I think because it's nighttime... Oh, we could get a PG... Can I change the clock in the game? I might change the clock to day, just to give us a better chance of getting something decent, like a PG, because I'd rather have a PG than a spinner rack. So now it should be day. Alright, nice. So now, hopefully we get a PG. Alright, there we go, huge. Then we Hypnosis, it missed. We Hypnosis, it missed. We Hypnosis, it missed. We Hypnosis, it missed. It missed. We swap to Inferno. We tackle. We tackle again. We swap to King. We throw Pokeball. Boom. Easy as that. Attempt 3 has a very different vibe than our other two attempts. The first two attempts were just like, la 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 la, la 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 la, having fun, friendship and magic. This attempt is like, fuck this fucking game. Shit is getting destroyed. Alright, so we should be able to catch a Bellsprout here. Also, in the other two attempts, I was like, trying to make it a little bit, more fun and less strategery by not always giving myself all of the information that I could be. Because, like, for all of the gym battles, if I was really, really tryharding it, I would have pulled up exactly what moves all of the Pokemon had as well, on top of just seeing what Pokemon they have. But I was like, I don't want to be fucking doing that for, like, every trainer. You're actually doing leagues better. Remember the last run you lost? Yeah, exactly. I know, right? That's what happened. I think it was just like, I think the second attempt I was like rushing a little bit too much, and also just got a little bit unlucky, and just continuously bad shit kept happening, and it just built upon each other. I don't even know how we managed to make it to Claire, to be honest, and beat Claire. That was kind of insane. Alright, hopefully this is a Bellsprout. Metapod, okay. That's fine. That's not really what I wanted, but it's fine. Alright. Alright, we have almost a full team already, so we are doing better than last time, even if we didn't get Bellsprout. That's okay. We still have a chance to get a Geodude. Alright, Cave. Hopefully we get a Geodude here. Zubat. I'm actually okay with Zubat. I'm okay with Zubat. I'm happy with Zubat, honestly. I'm chilling with Zubat. I really want a Crobat so bad, but I hate the friendship evolutions, bro. Brother, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. There we go. Alright, we have a full team. This is huge. This is huge for us. So so we're probably gonna have to catch the Geodude in Ruins of Alph, which is fine. We just need to make sure we're high enough level, because I think last time we fought it, we were like everyone was like level 7-ish, and it was like a level fucking 13 Geodude, and it was really hard to catch. Yeah, exactly. Like, it was just shit like that where I was like walking in blind, and it just got caught off guard. So we're not going to do that again this time. We're going to make sure we're always prepped. Let's do our encounter in here, the trainers, Geodude, and then the final guy in here, and then the gym. It's probably going to be a Ghastly in here. Well, I think it has to be a Ghastly because we've already caught a Rattata. So I think it has to be a Ghastly. We'll catch Ghastly. Whatevs. Alright, Ghastly. Not Rattata. Ghastly. Also, when you get the fishing rod, make sure you use your town encounter. Yeah. I think that's what I was thinking. I was like, once we get our fishing rod, let's make the effort to go back to Newbark Town. Grab the fishing counters. Hello? Does Ghastly only show up at night? Yes, Ghastly does not show up at night. Do we want a second Rattata, or do we want a Ghastly? Because we're probably not going to use Ghastly, but we're definitely going to use Rattata. I think maybe we just get a, I think we just get a Rattata. Let's just get a second Rattata. Not that King is gonna die, but just in case, you know? It's always good to have multiple Rattatas. Like, well, we could go into Morty's gym with 2 Rattatas instead of 1. Just to make double sure. I think it's a travesty they are seeking it for $20 on the Switch. It's a 20-year-old game, I know. I know, but Nintendo is just evil, and they will do anything they can to make as much money as they can from the working class. I get that they can't just give away their games for free, but like, what they should do is they should just do the PlayStation method where they, like, where you pay for like a membership and then you can play like every game that they've ever made for free, you know, with the membership. Cuz like if you get the PlayStation Plus, you can play like all of the classic games and then you can play like all of these other games for free. All of their like biggest sellers of history you can play. I don't know why they don't just do that. Have you guys been checking out Streamer University stuff that's been going on? Because they've started the classes up now. I think they had the first classes yesterday. I was seeing clips from like Ludwig's class and Sinner's class and Agent's class, and they looked really, really, really cool. Like it's cool that they're actually teaching them stuff. And I like that they're actually streaming some of it, so like even if you're not there, you can still learn as well. Let's get our Route 32 encounter as well while we're here. Bellsprout! We got a Bellsprout! Yes! Okay, this is huge, actually. Bro, fucking go to sleep. Stop waking up. Alright. Oh my god, I had a trial shift at my... No, you haven't answered a Faulkner because you can't use Rock Smash until after the first gym anyways. Oh, true. Oh, wait, yeah, why was I trying to catch a fucking Geodude? Oh, look, you have to pee. Alright, we'll use it as a level 9 and then we'll use probably Hoothoot as L13, maybe? I haven't told you guys about what happened yesterday, did I? So, I am potentially getting a job. I may have potentially gotten a job. I don't know for sure yet, but I hope so. I had... a couple of days ago, I had a job interview for a supermarket, and I went there. The interview was at like, I think it was like 10 o'clock or something, or 10:30 maybe. And it takes me like half an hour to get there. It's like earlier than I have gotten up for quite a while because I've been getting up pretty late just naturally. Because I'm on holidays, I haven't been doing anything. And so I had an interview, and I go to the interview, it's like pretty early for me. I get there early. I got there like 10 minutes early, mainly just because the trains sort of lined up that way. It was either like I get there way early or I get there late. So I got there early. And then I get there. I text the manager, I'm like, I'm here. Actually, no, before I do that. But because I got there 10 minutes early, I'm like, oh, let me scope out the store. Let me see, like, sort of what it looks like, how things work. And so I look around, I'm like, it's pretty nice. I make small talk to a couple of the staff. And then it's time, it's like, it rolls up to be time for the interview. So I'm like, I text the manager, I'm like, alright, I'm here. And he doesn't reply for like 15 minutes. So I'm there on time, I'm there early, and then he is late. For whatever reason. I'm sure he was probably doing manager stuff, I'm sure it was important, but it was just like, annoying for me because I texted him. And I'm like, I'm here. And then 15 minutes late, he walks out of the back and he's like, are you Nathaniel? And I'm like, yeah. And he doesn't even really give me an interview. He just goes, tell me a bit about yourself. So I just say, like, I'm a uni student, whatever, I have supermarket experience. And that's fine, but it's the same questions. It's exactly the same question that he asked me on the phone the day before. Because the way I got the interview is he called me. He called me when I was streaming the other night, you guys saw. And he asked me that same question. And then he asked me on the phone my availability, and I told him. And that was the two things he asked me, and then he was like, alright, come in tomorrow. And then when I came in, he asked me, tell me about yourself. I told him the same shit I said on the phone, and then he was like, alright, tell me your availabilities. And I told him the same availabilities again. Like, he just asked me the same shit again. Anyways. And he's like, alright, cool. And then he's like, alright, come in tomorrow for a trial shift at 7 AM. Actually, no. He goes, do you, like, are you available mornings or nights? And I'm like, I can do either, but I prefer night. And he's like, okay, come in tomorrow at 7 AM. Which is crazy. And then, as I'm leaving, he goes, do you drink or smoke? Which I don't think he's technically allowed to ask. I don't think you're allowed to ask that. But I say no, I don't smoke, and I drink rarely. And he's like, okay. And so I leave. He's like, come in tomorrow at 7. I'm like, okay. And then, so the next day, I have to get up at 4:30 AM to be able to get there on time at 7. Because I have to like, get up, get ready, have breakfast, and then also make sure I catch the train. Because again, there's not that many trains at 6 AM. So it was either I get there really early or get there late. So again, I had to get an earlier train, which means I had to get up even earlier. So I got up at 4:30 AM, got there. He's not even there because apparently he's not the store manager. He's like the big boss that like doesn't come in all the time. He's like is managing other stuff. And then he's like, the store's not even open yet, so I don't get let in. And he's like, I'm like, oh, I'm here. He's like, okay, here's the number of the store manager. They'll let you in. Anyway, I text the store manager. I'm like, hey, I'm here for my trial shift. The store manager doesn't answer. So after a couple of minutes, I call the number, and he doesn't pick up. He doesn't pick up. And then so there's like so many staff in there. There's so many staff in there. There was so many staff in there, and so I wave one down. They see me through the big window, I wave them down, I go, hey, and then, they come and they open the door for me, and I'm like, hey, I'm here for my trial shift, and they're like, oh, okay, come in. It's 7 AM. I come in, and then they get me started. But, and then other than the shift itself was actually really good. Like, everyone was really nice. The work was exactly the same as my old job, so I knew exactly what to do. And then I worked an 8-hour shift. It was an 8-hour trial shift for this place. I thought it was gonna be like a 3, like normally if you do a trial shift at some place, they just make you do like the basics. They just make you do like the basic stuff. They're like, oh yeah, here's how you do this, here's how you do this. Do this task for like a couple of hours, whatever. So normally it's like a 3-hour, maybe a 5-hour trial shift. This was an 8-hour trial shift because they had a massive delivery coming in and they wanted me to help with the delivery. So I ended up working, but I didn't get told that it was going to be an 8-hour shift. So I didn't get a break because I thought it was going to be like a 5-hour shift. And then at the 5th hour, the 5th or 6th hour, I like talked to the manager. I'm like, hey, how long is my shift, by the way? And he's like, oh, it's gonna be 8 hours. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I just didn't know. And then as I was about to ask, can I go on my break? The massive delivery comes. And I'm like, well, I can't go on my break, now the delivery's here, because that's what they needed me for. And so we start working on the delivery, and then by the time the end of my shift happens, the delivery isn't done, so I just never got a shift. So I ended up just go home. But it was fine. I wasn't like, I was a little bit hungry, thirsty, but I was fine. You know, I didn't really need a break. It's chill. It was just like it wasn't on purpose, it was just like a miscommunication thing between me and the manager, that's fine. And then what happened? Oh, I also was not the only new person. Because apparently they had just done like a massive hiring spree, and there was like 3 or 4 other people that were also new. So it was my first day, but everybody else had been there for like 2 weeks. So everyone was still pretty new. And I was the only one that had supermarket experience. So I was actually like the most experienced person there beside the 2 managers. So I knew where everything was. Because it's like, all grocery stores kind of have the same layout. Like all the items are generally grouped together the same way. And so I like knew where everything was better than the people that had been there for 2 weeks already. So I was killing it, low-key. And like there was like the store manager, and then there was like another manager who was like a little bit less experienced. I think she was like the first time she'd been a manager. And she was like really nice. And she was the one that was kind of like dealing with all the new people, whereas the store manager was dealing with like the office stuff. So I only talked to the office manager a little bit, but he was nice. And the other lady manager was really nice as well. And they were like showing me how to do all of like the grocery store stuff, like rotating stock and filling stock and whatever. But I have 2 years of supermarket experience, so I knew how to do all that stuff already. But I let them tell me because I didn't want to like be rude and make a bad impression. So they were like, yeah, you take the new stock and you put it at the back, and you have the old stock at the front, so that way people, like the customers, take that instead of the new stuff. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And so I do that, and also, like, over half the staff there are English second language. There's like a Colombian girl that works there who doesn't speak English, who's not like fluent in English. The nice lady manager was like Iranian, and so she didn't speak English fluently. And then like a couple of the other new people there were also from like the Middle East and stuff. And there was like an Indian girl. And so like not everyone spoke English as their first language, which was interesting. But everyone was really nice. And there was one time where the lady manager she was like, hey, come here, and I came over because she was gonna like tell me some instructions, and then she started speaking to me in Spanish. She was like telling me what to do, but she did it in Spanish, and I like gave her a little bit of a blank look, and it took me a second to like understand what she was saying, and then she was like said something about getting a trolley. And I picked it up from context clues because she like pointed in the direction of where the trolleys are, and she was speaking Spanish, and so and she said like something trolley-o, and I was like, oh, okay, she must want me to get a trolley. But it like took me a second to realize, and then she realized that she was accidentally speaking Spanish to me, and then she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh, you want me to get a trolley? And she's like, oh my god, how did you understand that? I was like, I didn't realize I was speaking Spanish. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I kind of figured it out. But that was funny. And yeah, it was overall just like a really chill shift. There wasn't a whole lot to do before the delivery got there, so for the first like 5 or 6 hours, I was sort of not really doing a whole lot. I was sort of just facing shelves, which was really easy. But yeah, and then when I left, so I worked 8 hours with no break, right? And then when I left, I saw that I had a text from the big boss who had interviewed me the day before. So he wasn't working that day, but he was like the big boss. He managed like that store and like a couple of other stores. And I saw that he had texted me, and he was like, don't leave, like, please don't leave until after the delivery is done. So it's like 3 o'clock. I'd worked 8 hours, no shift. There was still like we'd only done like half the delivery. But I had already left, because I was like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. The manager told me to leave at 3. All of the other new people were leaving at 3, and the manager saw me leave. So I was like, okay, I'm fine. But then I see the text, and I was like, there's no way this guy wanted me to finish, like, work more than 8 hours with no break for my trial shift. Like, there's no shot. But then when I was getting on the train, the nice manager the lady manager also happened to be getting on the train, so I talked to her about it. And she was like, oh, I'm sure it's fine, don't worry about it. Like it's... No, we wouldn't expect you to work more than 8 hours, that's ridiculous. I was like, okay, cool. And then I texted the other manager about it. But he hasn't replied, so I don't know. I don't even know if the guy gave me the right number, because I texted the manager a bunch of times, and he hasn't replied. So I don't know. Yeah, but it was pretty chill. Isn't that supposed to be illegal? Yeah, I think so. I think what happened was they were supposed to get the delivery earlier in the day. I think they were supposed to get the delivery at like 9 or 10, instead of like 1. So I'm assuming if like, he expected it to arrive at 10, and then for us to have heaps of time to do it. So I would have finished it anyways by the time my shift was over. So he didn't realize because he wasn't working. So he sent me that. So I think it was just a misunderstanding. But it was like, it freaked me out because I'm like, I'd already left, and I was like, oh shit, am I gonna get in trouble because I left? So I think it's fine though. I think it's fine. I think that was pretty much it, but yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know if I have the job yet, but they seem to like me. Like, the managers seem to like me, all of the other staff seem to like me. I was good at the job because I knew what to do. There was nothing, there was no incidents. Like, I didn't do anything wrong as far as I know. So I should get the job, and I should find out within the next couple of days, hopefully. And then I'll be working there. Big boss Nathaniel will be periodically renting me out to the supermarket. Wait, why is e-girl one of the stream tags? It's because I'm an e-girl. I don't know what to tell you. People keep asking me this, and it's like, dude, I have an English tag because I speak English. I have an Aussie tag because I'm Australian. I have an e-girl tag because I'm an e-girl. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how it can be more clear. You clicked on a stream that said e-girl, and you're asking me if I'm an e-girl. What else am I supposed to be doing? I hope you enjoy the job you're likely getting. I hope so. I think out of all of the... I mean, like, I've been job searching for, like, months at this point. Every day, like, applying to jobs. And this... I only got this and one other interview. But the other job was GYG, which I've never worked in a restaurant or, like, a fast food place like that, really. And I just knew that it would be a very stressful job to me because I've been there and it's like always seems really busy and stressful. So I didn't really want that job, but I would have taken it if I had no other option. But then I got this interview and I was like, alright, cool, this is a job that I feel a lot more comfortable in. Like, I would be happy to work here, you know, three times a week or whatever. Also, I'm not going to be telling anybody that I work there that I'm a streamer. I don't want anybody to find out. Not because I'm embarrassed about being a streamer, but just because I don't want that to be the thing that I am known as at work. I don't want them to, like, talk to me about it. Because, like, it's not embarrassing, but it's embarrassing to talk about to people who don't understand it. You should low-key do a Smash or Pass Pokemon tier list. I did a Smash or Pass Pokemon a while ago, like, probably a year ago at this point. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to watch it. I didn't do it as a tier list, I just did, like, the Smash or Pass website that, like, Markiplier did. But if you guys really want to see me do that, I can do it again. I can do a tier list. But yeah, I was a little bit worried about people finding out I was a streamer, because I was like, oh shit, if one of my coworkers asks me for my Instagram, I use the Dominate account as my main account. So, but like, if they ask me, I'm gonna have to either say no, which I don't want to do because that's awkward, or show them that I'm a streamer. And I was like, shit, I should make a fake Instagram account as myself, like a decoy Instagram account, in case someone asks me. So I set up an account under my actual name, and have it in case that they ask me, and I like followed all of the people that I'm like actually friends with, so that it looks legit. I have like a reasonable follower count and a reasonable following count. I don't have any posts on there, but which is fine. Because I can just say, like, oh, I don't really use Instagram. But yeah, I had to do that just in case. I wasn't aware of my bad, but yeah, I'd never talk about being a streamer to coworkers if I was a streamer. Yeah, I told a couple of my coworkers at my other workplace, but that was because I was, like, kind of friendly with them anyways. And also, they were more online, so they kind of understood it. There was a couple, like, older coworkers that sort of asked me about it, but they didn't really know what it was, so they didn't really care. But I'm not telling anybody. Unless I become friends with someone at work, outside of work, I'm not telling them. I'm gonna be like, okay, now that we're friends, let me show you my real Instagram, my real identity as TTV Dominate. And they're gonna be like, whoa, I've been secretly friends with a famous streamer this whole time, that's crazy. You know? Another idea, become a VTuber. They can't recognize you as a streamer if you use a virtual avatar. That's true. I would honestly try VTubing if I could afford a model that I liked. But I don't have that kind of money. Maybe one day when I'm rich, I'll pay an artist to do a VTube avatar of myself, and then we could do a VTuber stream every now and then if I don't feel like being on camera. That could be fun. Alright, let me level up everybody for the gym. So what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna lead with Rocky, and then have Razor Wing as backup. So you need to be level 13. But yeah, if I could, I would just stream every day, but Big Boss Nathaniel saying that the company money is running low, so he's got to rent me out to the supermarket to work there a couple of days a week. I'm not huge on it, but it is what it is. But it means that we're gonna have some more money in the budget, which means that I may be able to occasionally purchase a game for stream instead of having to rely on free games. So it's good. There's good and it's bad, but I think Q3 and part of Q4 is going to be very, very busy and very, very physically taxing on me, because in a couple of weeks I start up my second semester of my second year of uni, which means that I'm gonna be working. I'm either gonna be in classes all day and doing schoolwork, or working. So I may not have a heap of time and energy to stream, but I will do my best. Because I want to stream. But if I have schoolwork or work I gotta do, then it is what it is, you know. But we'll just see how we go. I'll let you guys know what the schedule's gonna be like once I find out. Boom. And a boom. Alright, swap you out, go Razor Wing. Hypnosis. Peck. 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 Bro, stop fucking roosting! We're gonna have to wear our roost. He's just gonna keep roosting. Unless he dies. There we go. Boom! First gym, easy dubs. I like this, I like this. We're in a much better spot than we were at this point last time. We are chillin'.